Well, good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the farm. We're going to pull out all the stops today. Got a bit of a logistical nightmare going on with hay bales. My wife recently found some hay. I mean, it's no secret there's a massive hay shortage. These are like 800-pound mixed grass bales, and they're somewhere in the Valhalla area, and they're $65 a bale, which, you know, per poundage, that kind of works out to, you know, about $120 for what a regular full-size round bale is. So I'll take them. I'll take them. That's fine. But I just, like, the lady was like, well, yeah, but it's $3 per bale if you need help to load them, which I thought was weird. Like, I've never ever seen people charge that. Like, if you're just going to go and they're there and they're already loading, like, why would you have a per bale charge to load? Like, it should just be part of the cost of the bale. That seemed really obscure. So then I said to Carmen, I was like, well, I mean, if they're not far from here, because Valhalla is only like 10 kilometers from here. If they're not far, I'll run the tractor up there. And just like that, never mind everything I just said. Because here's the thing. So $3 a bale to load. That got me like, oh, that's weird. And then the lady was like, well, there's lots of people interested in them, so I want to deposit $20 a bale. Really? Like, I mean, that seems... okay, I get it. Like, you know, people screw people around and they don't show up for stuff, but $20 a bale. Like, what are there's only 21 bales in this field here. Like, what are we getting at here? So I says to Carmen, I says, you know what? Let's just go right now. I'll go out there. I'll drive my truck to Rio Grande. I'll go get the truck and the flat deck trailer. I'll come home. And her and the kids can take that flat deck up to Valhalla. I'll hop in Aunt Jemima here, and I'll drive to Valhalla, and we'll load them things this afternoon. So there's no loading fee. There's no deposit. That seems like it makes perfect sense, right? Then the lady's like, well, but it's a Ducks Unlimited field, and then Ducks Unlimited has to weigh the bales, apparently. Again, learning new things, but... All like the little red flags are going up, the alarm bells are ringing off, and I'm just like, I'm being very, very cautious here right now. So I'm interested. Has anybody else heard of this, where like if you rent a Ducks Unlimited quarter and then you hay off of that quarter, that they have to come and weigh a bale? Like, that just seems obscure. Like, I mean, we even offered, we said, well, like, we're going to drive right back past Foster's in Beaver Lodge. Like, we'll just run the whole truck and trailer over the scale. And then we'll have a total weight on everything. And then she's like, no, Ducks Unlimited needs to see it. And you got to book them to come out and do it. And it seems like a huge screw around. Like, you know, like very, very inconvenient for a very small quantity of feed. And now I'm questioning whether or not it's worth it. But nevertheless, it's not going to happen today. So I'm going to go take Charlotte out of the truck. She's already buckled in. We were gonna go to Rio Grande and get a truck and trailer, and she was gonna come for a ride with Dad, but not today. Maybe later in the week if this all gets figured out. Instead, we're gonna work on the raspberry stock trailer there. Yes, I am gonna run some wiring and see if we can't get some lights to work without popping a fuse. Are you gonna help me? Are you an orphan?
No.
What's on your face? Hair's unbrushed, tomato soup all over the place. Oh, wild child, hey? Joys of being a farm kid, hey? Yeah. So are you going to help me wire up this trailer? Are you going to pull on the wire?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you going to get electric shock?
Nuh-uh.
Hopefully not, hey? Are you going to pass me the tools? Which tools are you going to pass me? What kind of tools do we think you need?
I don't know.
Do we need a screwdriver? Do we need pliers? Wire strippers? That'd be a good start, hey? All right, let's go get them. Turn the fan way up there like a helicopter on the ceiling, because this morning we harvested a selection of potatoes. That's 3 rows. And so I don't think we're going to starve this here by any means, but certainly that was much smaller potatoes than we're accustomed to, and significantly less volume than we're accustomed to. But that I'll take the blame on that one. I'm gonna say I hit the easy button. Maybe I'm gonna give you an excuse. I don't know. I was just too busy, too much on the go. really poor work-life balance, and didn't water and didn't hill, and we just planted them. I didn't weed. The wife did some weeding. I didn't do any weeding, and we got what we got, and we can't get upset because if we have to go to the grocery store in February and March to buy potatoes, that's what we're gonna have to do. But there are still like another 8 rows left, so I don't see any reason why we wouldn't have lots to make us last through the year here. Okay, so my little helper abandoned me because she wanted to go watch cartoons. I get it. She's 5. It's Sunday. It's kind of a meh kind of day. Why would you want to hang out and watch me run a set of pliers and some snips and a screwdriver? Not really the most interesting time. There's only so much really that she can do. But anyways, I got new line strung all the way there. I was going to try and run it inside this channel right here, but there's enough obstacles anyways that I could not get that extension cord run through. So I just run it in between the outer shell and then the ribs, run it all the way along, zip tied it in, wired it there, wired it here. I'm just finishing wiring up that last. This is the one I left for very last. Just got it installed. Just going to connect the wiring connectors. And then I'm gonna see if I can hook a truck to it and get some lights to work without blowing any fuses. What I did not do was tie the marker lights in yet, and that's fine. If I can get tail lights, if I can confirm that he's working, I'm just light years ahead, right? I mean, marker lights, you know, that's great if, you know, somebody's sideways onto you or whatever, but I mean, that's not hugely safety factor as opposed to these things, right? And I did put a new big fancy marker light up here too, so we should be lit up like a Christmas tree. Now, as I said, I couldn't get the cable to run through this rail. There's actually this bolt right here. You can see that bolt right there that runs through that rail. That lines up perfectly with, let's have a look here. There's a spot on this cable. Bear with me. Right there. Look at that. Yep. So that was rubbing right there, rubbed through. That's where our dead short was. That's what was popping fuses. So glad I found that, because that, I mean, at least that's like, yes, there was a dead short. Things are burning out. That totally makes sense. And, you know, I wasn't just losing my mind. That's the thing, that with chasing ground or things that are grounding out, short circuits, it'd be brutal to find. And it was within the first 18 inches, really, after the junction box, boom, right there. So I probably could have just replaced one wire right from there to the back, and I probably would have been fine. But no, like this is as good a time as any. New wire, front to back, whole 9 yards, and then at least I know it's good. I'm not going to be, 5 minutes from now, another cracked wire rubs through, and then I'm chasing a thing forever and ever and ever, right? So if you ever got to do any amount of electrical work, specifically like automotive or working with butt connectors, or these little what do you call these, spade connectors like this, you got these crimp on ends like that. If you ever going to do any amount of that, I would highly recommend getting a pair of these Klein pliers like that, so you can see they've got the little thing right there that your connector goes into, and then you just grab it and just crimp, and it's just fantastic every time. I don't know what these are worth. I never bought these. I never paid for these. This was left behind on a well site by a copper thief one time, so I mean, it was probably stolen when they got it, but yeah, this has been a fantastic, it's my favorite pair of pliers. They're rated so I can cut stuff and I don't get electrocuted. Not that I would ever do that, because I'm gonna shut the power off because I'm pretty smart that way, but anyways, really good set of pliers. Highly recommend them. All right, here's the moment of truth. Signal light on. Nothing, absolutely nothing. This is amazing. Oh, hang on, I did the trailer light test and we got something. We got all tail lights. That's in reverse. That's a brake light. So when I rewired this one, you can see this, the spade connections I was just talking about. I actually put these on here because I could not remember what was what. And there's 2 red wires that come out of the frame. So that's real handy, right? Especially when you're chasing colors. So this, between here and there, between there and there, I didn't change that wire. Full transparency. I just told you I changed all the wires. I didn't change that one. That piece, that 4-foot section right there. So somewhere in there, there's a splice. And there's a brown wire and a red wire. And I got them backwards. Maybe it's not a splice. Maybe it's just faded and whatever. Anyways, I switched them around. Let's do a light test again. See if it works now. Okay, so we're almost there. Look, I got brake light there. I got a signal light there. I got nothing on this side. There's a brake light coming on. And a signal light coming on. So everything's working on the left-hand side. For some reason that driver's side's not quite functioning the way it should. All right, so I had a bit of supper. Come back, had a second look, run the test light on a few things. It's starting to rain, so this better work. Do the old, once the old dash thing fires up here, GMC has this start light test, so you can run a whole light test on your trailer without having to go back and forth between the cab and the rear of the vehicle. You just put it in this light test thing, and then you go back there. It runs through the whole sequence. That's what we're gonna do, just like this. Boom. Tells you the sequence that it does it. So let's go check it out. Left signal, right signal, reverse. We don't really care about reverse. Never hooked up reverse lights. Brake lights. Left signal, right signal. Now, I'm no philosopher, but I would say that means that Robert is your mother's brother. So we're going to call that a win, and pack up some tools and go park the stock trailer, because this thing is ready to go. All right, well, you know me, I'm one for finishing at 75%, but tonight is the exception, because I've been fooling around with this thing for so long, and it was a real crapshoot as to whether or not this thing was going to be roadworthy, whether or not it was going to be a keeper, whether it was going to be a flipper, whether it was going to be, let's just take our losses and haul it right to the scrap metal dealer. But anyways, I did work on the marker lights, so that's working. It's working. Tail lights, marker lights, everything's working. Gosh darn it. I don't know if I've ever, I might as well just leave all the wire and stuff in there, because I mean, that's as close as I can get to not finishing a project, because it is done. It is done. The only thing that's left is the cleanup. So I should probably just leave all my shit in there. That's that would be typical me. But no, I jest. I'm not actually going to do that. I'm going to put everything away, and it is going to be road ready. I'm going to hook onto it. I'm going to go park it over on the other side of the yard, so that when the sheep man phones here, hopefully in a week, and says, "Hey, I got room for 20 sheep," I can hook onto this bad boy, run there and drive right by the bylaw officer, and have no grief. That'd be amazing. That would be right uptown. That'd be very, very demure. Anyhow, on that note, I'm going to let you go. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow.